Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning vibes, everybody. Morning vibes, everybody around the world. Welcome to our statistic course. Okay, today we are going to talk about independent sample t-test for NCAN score with SPSS. Okay. As usual, we need to understand about the basic concepts of independent sample t-test. Number one, independent sample t-test is part of the parametric statistical analysis used to test whether there is a difference in the mean scores of two groups of unpaired data. Number two, the type of data used in this test is in the form of interval or ratio scale data. Number three, the requirements for using this test are data with normal distributions and homogeneous variance. But at the point of homogeneous variance, that is the result of homogeneity test, is not absolute requirements. And the last, if one or both of the data are not normally distributed, then test the hypothesis using a non-parametric statistical test with the Mann-Whitney U test. Okay, before I give you the example of independent sample t-test case for NCAN score, don't forget to watch and study my previous videos, yeah. So we start here from NCAN score test experiment class and control data with SPSS. But before we go to NCAN score, yeah, you need to learn about this one. Part 1, experiment and control class analysis. In this case, the analysis of paired sample t-test for experiment and control class analysis. Yeah, paired sample t-test. And then the next, number 2, or part 2 here, experiment and control class data analysis, yeah, for independent sample t-test. So if we have part 1, experiment and control class analysis for paired sample t-test, of course we have the NCAN score test, yeah, this one, experiment, class, and control class data with SPSS, especially for paired sample t-test, yeah. Don't forget this one. Visit my YouTube ya, Ririn Ambarini Edu channel. This one is my education YouTube channel. Okay, I repeat again ya. Part 1, experiment and control class data analysis ya, for paired sample t-test. Of course, this one will lead to NCAN score test, experiment, and control class data with SPSS. This one also for paired sample t-test. And this one, part 2, experiment and control class data analysis, yeah, for independent sample t-test. And this one, of course, it will lead to our tutorial SPSS, yeah, today about independent sample t-test for NCAN score. Okay. After previously knowing the effectiveness of the use of cooperative learning methods, experimental group, yeah, and conventional learning methods in control group on English student learning outcomes through the interpretations of the average value of NCAN score percentage. Okay. Of course, the next, we will compare whether there is a significant difference regarding the effectiveness of using cooperative learning methods with conventional learning methods in improving English learning outcomes in recontext materials for the 11th grade students of SMA IT Al-Fikri Semarang in the academic year 2022 using independent sample t-test techniques for and gain score percentage. Okay. Independent sample t-test stages for and gain score. First of all, you need to open the SPSS file entitled and gain score. This one, yeah, that you have already done earlier. Just like this one can be taken from the previous video of mine, yeah, and gain score for experiment and control class analysis. Yeah. Later, through this SPSS file, we can do normality test, homogeneity test, and independent sample t-test. Yeah, and then, of course, we are going to do the interpretations of the outputs. Okay, have a look at this one. Basic decision of the Shapiro-Wilk normality test. If the significance of If the significant value is more than 0.05, then the data is normally distributed. But if the value of significance is less than 0.05, then the data is not normally distributed. Yeah, we have the note here. Shapiro-Wilk normality test was chosen. Why? Because the number of samples, or N, used for both classes was less than 50 participants. Meanwhile, if the sample that we use in the study is more than 50, of course, the normality test is carried out with reference to significant value, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. Okay, let's do the analysis, yeah. So this one, the data of SPSS file is taken from the previous data in the previous video, yeah, and gain score for experiment and control class data analysis, yeah, this one, yeah. Okay, we are going to do normality test first here, yeah, normality test. After that, followed by homogeneity test and independent sample t-test output. The first, we click analyze, and then we click descriptive statistics, and then we click explore. Okay, we click and gain score percentage on the dialog box on the left, and we move it to dependent list on the dialog box on the right. Click it, and then we click class group here on the dialog box on the left, and we click it or we send it to the factor list on the dialog box on the right. Okay. After that, we click plots. We click normality plots with test. Click continue, and then we click OK. We are waiting for the output. Okay, waiting for the output here. Okay, we have looked at the case processing summary output here, the output, yeah, descriptives and test of normality. And from the three outputs, we focus on test of normality. So we have a look at this one, experiment class and gain score percentage. Control class here, we go to Shapiro-Wilk, and from the significant here, we see that the result of experiment class data 0.979, and for the control class 0.104. So having a look at the basic decision for the Shapiro-Wilk normality test, so we can conclude that 0.979 0.979 is more than 0.05 and 0.104 is also more than 0.05. So we can conclude that the data distribute normally. So we can have a look at this one. Yeah, I have already copy this one. Just copy it. We copy here and paste it here. Yeah, and then we can edit so that the form comes to our need. Yeah, so it is exactly the same experiment class test of normality result. Yeah, 0.979. It is more than 0.05, and for the control class 0.104. Yeah, 0.104. It is also more than 0.05, so we can conclude that the data distribute normally. Okay, let's go to next. The next we go to here, yeah. After normality test, we go to homogeneity test and independent sample t-test. Okay, let's do it. We go to analyze, and then we go to compare means, and then we go to independent samples t-test. We choose n-gain score percentage, yeah, on the dialog box on the left, and we move it to test variables on the dialog box on the right. We click it. Okay, and then we click class group here on the dialog box on the left, and we move it to grouping variable on the dialog box on the right. We click it. Okay, and we click define groups. Yeah, for group 1 we type 1, this one for experiment class, and for group 2 we type 2, this one for control class, and then we click continue, and then we click OK. We are waiting for the result here. Okay, here we have group statistics, yeah, and independent sample t-test output. We have two output here, group statistics and independent sample t-test. So we go to interpretations of independent sample t-test for n-gain score with SPSS, yeah. First output table, we go to group statistics here, yeah. Before we interpret the meaning of the output table, we first need to look at the categorizations of the interpretations of the effectiveness of n-gain percentage, yeah. In the following percentage here, if it is less than 40%, so the category is not effective. But if the percentage is between 40 until 55%, so the category is less effective. But if the percentage is between 56 until 75, so the category is effective enough. If the percentage is more than 76%, so the category is effective. Okay, this one, yeah. Based on the group statistic output table, it is known that the mean gain percentage score for the experiment class, yeah, for the experiment class is here 63.3969, or if we round up, it becomes 63.4%. Based on the category table for the interpretations of the effectiveness of the n-gain score percentage, it can be concluded that the use of cooperative learning method in the experiment class is effective enough in improving student learning outcomes. This one, yeah, effective enough. This one, 63.4% is between 56 until 75%. So the category is effective enough. And then furthermore, it is known that the mean gain percentage score, the mean for and gain percentage for the control class, yeah, is 25.8446, yeah, or we round up becomes 25.8%. So based on the category table for the interpretations of the effectiveness of the N-gain score percentage, it can be concluded that the use of conventional learning methods in control class is not effective in improving student learning outcomes. This one, yeah, between 40% or this one 25.8%, yeah, it is less than 40%, so it is categorized not effective. But for experiment class, yeah, the mean for experiment class 63.4%, yeah, this one between 56 until 75%, so it is categorized effective enough. Okay, that's from the group statistic, yeah. Here, I have already copied this one. Later, you can just copy it and then go to your file, MS Word file, and then just paste it, yeah. Okay. And then here, experiment. The mean for N-gain score percentage, yeah, for experiment class 63.3969, yeah. And then for control class, yeah, N-gain score percentage 25.8446. So statistically descriptive, it can be said that there are differences in the effectiveness of implementing cooperative learning methods with conventional learning methods in improving student learning outcome. Okay, the next, yeah. To find out whether the difference in the effectiveness of the two methods is significant or not, the method is to interpret the second output table independent sample t-test, yeah. We have already discussed group statistic as the first output. Next we go to interpret the second output independent sample test, yeah, t-test, yeah. Here, based on the output table, it is known that the value of significance on Levin test for equality of variance is 0.002. So here, yeah, we find the homogeneity first. We need to decide whether the data are homogeneous or not. We can see from this one, yeah, equal variance assumed for homogeneous data and equal variance not assumed for the data that are not homogeneous. Okay, from this one, Levin's test for equality of variance, yeah. Levin test for equality of variance. We can have a look here. We need to find whether the data are homogeneous or not can be seen from this one. Equal variance assume significance here 0.002, yeah. 0.002 is less than 0.05. So it can be concluded that the variance of the N-gain score percentage, yeah, for the experiment class and control class data is not homogeneous, yeah. Thus, the independent sample t-test for the N-gain score is guided by the value of significant content in the table equal variance not assumed. Yeah, equivariance assumed because the significance is 0.02, it is less than 0.05, so the data are not homogeneous. Yeah, because of that we go to equivariance not assumed. Yeah, and then we go to significant to tell. Yeah, to see whether there is significant difference or not for the n gain percentage. Okay, so significant to tell for equal variance not assumed here, yeah, 0.000. So here, based on the independent sample t-test output, it is known that the value of significant to tell is 0.000. It is less 0.05. Thus, it can be concluded that there is a significant difference in effectiveness between the use of cooperative learning methods and conventional learning methods to improve English learning outcomes in recontext material for the 11th grade students of SMAIT Alfikri Semarang in the academic year 2022. Okay, so here, yeah, I have already copied it here. Yeah, in here I just copy it and then paste it in MS Word data or PDF file. Yeah, so we can have a look at this one. Yeah, after we have already found that the data is not homogeneous, yeah, the significance of Leven's test for equality of variance, it is 0.002, yeah. So we choose equal variance not assumed, yeah, for the data that are not homogeneous because homogeneity is not absolute requirement. So we can go to the second choice, yeah, equal variance not assumed. And then to decide whether there is significant difference or not, of course we can go to significant to tell, especially for equal variance not assumed. Yeah, it is shown that the data is 0.000. Yeah, because the data is 0.00, it is less than 0.005, so it can be interpreted that there is uh, effectiveness, yeah, between the use of cooperative learning methods and conventional learning methods. Yeah, to find out the effectiveness, yeah, for independent sample t-test, of course we can use N-gain score, yeah, for independent sample t-test. Don't forget the first step, yeah, to find normality, ya. This one. To find the normality, ya. After the data distribute normally, of course, we can go to independent sample t-test for N-gain score with SPSS. Ya, the first step, ya, normality. The data distribute normally, and we go to interpretation of independent sample t-test here, ya. From group statistic, it shows that there is significant difference, yeah, because the mean of N-gain score percentage here, yeah, the mean of N-gain score percentage 63.4%, yeah, effective enough, yeah. So, and then for control class 25.8%, it is not effective. So the conclusion, there is effectiveness, yeah, there are differences in the effectiveness, yeah, of implementing cooperative learning methods with conventional learning methods in improving students learning outcomes. And the last, we can do the interpretation, yeah, using independent sample t-test here. The first, here we have already found that 11 tests for equality of variance ya, here ya 0.002. So for equal variance assume, so 0.002 is less than 0.05. So it shows that the data are not homogeneous. Because the data not homogeneous, we go to equal variance not assumed ya. And significance to tell here shows 0.005 ya. For the result, it is less than 0.05. So it can be concluded that there is significant difference between the use or the implementation of cooperative learning methods and conventional learning methods. Okay, everybody, I do hope that you will understand all of the explanation in the tutorial of experimental independent sample t-test for and gain score. You can repeat again if you lost some information and hopefully that this video SPSS tutorial for independent sample t-test and gain score will give beneficial knowledge for you. Don't forget to subscribe for those who haven't subscribed, like and share. Because sharing knowledge is the best blessing even from God. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.